Well, the Prime Minister should provide advice because he stood there today and he shouted at Australians. He disrespected the victims' families. He disrespected what happened in the way that he said he knows best. He's not listening. He's not listening to the victims' families, and he's not listening to the Jewish Australian community. And he clearly does not understand what they have been experiencing and what their genuine anxieties are for the future. And it's not just Jewish Australians who hold these fears. It's many Australians, because we've just had the worst massacre, the worst terrorism event on Australian soil. And we have a Prime Minister who says it's not deserving of a Commonwealth Royal Commission. And ordinary Australians in their millions are asking, why on earth not?
Have you given more consideration into whether deploying the military to protect Jewish sites is suitable?
It's vital that Jewish Australians, and indeed all Australians, are kept safe. And if proposals are presented to us as an opposition that involve the military, of course we would consider our response. But I have watched children aged 4 go to daycare with armed guards on the way in, with doors slamming shut behind them. I have seen armed guards at synagogues so families can't worship. I have spoken to school children, to girls in year 11 and 12, who've told me about the anti-Semitic hate, about the anti-Jewish hatred that they experience every single day when they travel on public transport in Sydney, when they go about their lives. And it would make all fair-minded Australians horrified, and all want to keep our Jewish community safe. But the answer is not to add more weapons, more guards, with respect, more police. And all of those groups do an amazing job, particularly our police, not just our state police, but our AFP. The answer is to have safety in the lives of Jewish Australians and all Australians, because it is about the safety of all Australians. And the only way we can assure that is to have a Commonwealth Royal Commission, so we can answer these questions honestly. We cannot be afraid of the truth.
In terms of deploying the military, is that something that you consider?
No proposal has been presented to the opposition, and we will deal with any proposals as they come forward.
You mentioned the Prime Minister hasn't been listening, but he says there's been extensive consultation which led to the decision for a snap review, and that the community has formed part of that consultation. In your engagements with the Jewish community at Bondi, has that view been expressed to you?
I've been constantly in touch with the community, and I spent 8 days with them after these events, and I cried with them. I hugged them, I listened to their heartbreak, I deeply understood their anguish, and from that anguish comes their very strong request. Look at the front pages of our major newspapers today, and particularly yesterday, and you can read and hear those eloquent voices calling for this Commonwealth Royal Commission. But the response is a Prime Minister who is shouting at Australians, who is not listening to Australians, who just doesn't seem to get it.